Just so you guys are aware, there will be spoilers for The Rise of Skywalker in this video today, so if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, make sure you guys go and watch the movie first, and then come back and watch this video. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ryan Brower. Welcome back to Sector for Nerds, and today I am going to be going over the scene in Rise of Skywalker that contained all of the Jedi voices from the past. This was an epic scene in the Rise of Skywalker, and like I said, if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, I encourage you guys to go check it out, because, I mean, I've had some time to think about it and stuff, and that moment of the Jedi calling to Rey is probably one of my favorite Star Wars moments of all time. So yeah, like I said, I thought it was that awesome. And it's funny because the first time you hear it, it's like you don't even catch all the voices. At least I didn't anyway. But since then, I've gone and I've looked and I've seen a bunch of people posting stuff on YouTube about it, whether, like, you know, the lines that people say, who said them, and so on and so forth. But I noticed here too that Star Wars Comics released a video that's got, like, not just the quotes and who said them, but like they kind of make it in almost like they kind of make it a part of the movie and stuff, and you guys have got to see what I'm talking about here in a minute. But if you guys make sure you guys go and check out Star Wars Comics and give, you know, them, go check out the video. I'm gonna leave it in the description of this video, because yeah, I think they did a phenomenal job with this. So let's get into it, and let's kind of, afterward we'll kind of talk about it as well, like what it all means and everything. Could you imagine if they did this in the movie? Always. Pretty cool, right? So y'all kind of see what I mean now? Let's discuss, shall we? Okay, so the one quote that video was missing came after, so about midway through it, Anakin says, the Force surrounds you, Rey. And then you hear Ayla Secura say, let it guide you. What the video failed to add is Ahsoka saying after Ayla, as it guided us. So it's like, let it guide you as it guided us. So it was like a double quote there between Ayla and then Ahsoka. So yeah, that was the only thing that they kind of missed out. But like, let's kind of deep dive into this a little bit here, and let's kind of talk about it, right? So you first hear Obi-Wan say, these are your final steps, Rey. Rise and take them, which is a nice little callback to The Force Awakens when you hear Obi-Wan say in the vision, these are your first steps to Rey after she touches Luke's lightsaber. Then you hear Anakin, Ahsoka, and Kanan all say Rey in that order, by the way. Then you hear Anakin say, bring back the balance, Rey, as I did. So, you know, and I've had time to think about this too. I don't think that like, just because Palpatine comes back doesn't mean that Anakin didn't bring balance to the Force. I still believe, because, I mean, for 30 years, Palpatine wasn't around. So in a way, Anakin sort of did bring balance to the Force for that amount of time, even though I still do kind of stick with my thing of, like, I think now Rey is that balance, and that's why she may not necessarily be a Jedi. I'm not sure, but there's ways of going different ways about it. Then you hear Luminara and Dooley say, the light, find the light, Rey. And it's the same actor, it's like Luminara voice actress from the Clone Wars, and I forget her name, and I apologize for that. So then you hear, what comes out? Kanan says, you are not alone, Rey. And you hear Yoda say, alone you have never been. So kind of getting over the idea that Rey isn't alone, that they're all going to help her through this. Qui-Gon says, every Jedi who ever lived lives in you now, obviously voiced by Liam Neeson as well. As far as that line goes, it's like, yeah, no pressure, Rey. You're representing all the Jedi here. Anakin said, by the way, I think Anakin and Qui-Gon had a heavy presence in these like quotes and everything. So you hear Anakin say, the Force surrounds you, Rey, and then that's where you have Ayla say, let it guide you, Ahsoka say, as it guided us. Ahsoka being voiced by Ashley Eckstein, obviously I know her voice from anywhere, and I picked up on that immediately in the film. Ayla, I'm assuming same person who voiced her in Clone Wars, and I'm forgetting, I apologize for forgetting names. You hear Mace then say, feel the Force flowing through you, Rey. Anakin says, let it lift you. Then you hear Adi Gullia say, rise, Rey. And this is where it starts to really pick up, right? And it's like Qui-Gon says, we stand behind you, Rey. And then you hear old Obi-Wan say, Rey, which is the same quote, I think, from Force Awakens when Rey has that vision. Then Yoda says, rise in the Force. Kanan says, in the heart of a Jedi lies her strength, which I thought is a bad A-word line. Also, though, it does kind of upset me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little upset with Freddy, because if y'all missed it, like, and maybe I'll do a separate video talking about it, but like, I think it was a couple months ago, I think it was like a month or two ago, Freddie Prinze Jr. went on this rant about Star Wars fans and stuff, and like, talking essentially how like it's for kids and like people come up with their own, you know, crap on how they think the Force works and everything. And it's like he also made the statement of like I know who wins in this movie and I would tell you who wins, but I'm not gonna ruin, like he says, if you know the Force well enough, you know who wins and who loses. And because of that, I know who wins in the next movie, but I'm not gonna tell you guys because I don't want to ruin it for you. So obviously, and I don't think that was like, I quoted as best I can there. I didn't directly quote it, but that was along the lines of what Freddie Prinze Jr. said. So it does kind of upset me because it's like, well, yeah, of course you know who won and lost because you had the script for the damn movie, obviously, if you were in it, right? I mean, because, like, sure, I mean, I know, granted, they don't always give actors the full scripts and stuff, but I mean, like, come on, you had more info than everybody else. So, like, I mean, there was a while where, like, I kind of was, like, sort of backing up what he said. There were things that he said I completely agree with. I just don't agree with the way he went about saying them. But now it does kind of make me a little bit more frustrated at him because of now the fact that he was in this movie. But, like, I mean, and it's unfortunate, too, because Freddy seems like a nice guy and everything, but just, like, I think he just was probably caught up with a rough day, or fans were probably giving him backlash. I don't know the full story on that, so if someone does, let me know. But yeah, I mean, whatever, I guess it is what it is, right? And so then after you hear Kanan say that line, you hear Obi-Wan say rise, you hear Qui-Gon say rise, and then you hear Luke, you know, good old Mark Hamill come in and say, Rey, the Force will be with you always. Which, I mean, how many times have we heard that line in Star Wars? Like, that line is probably one of the most iconic lines in Star Wars, you know, the Force will be with you always. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm so glad that they brought back, like, a lot of these people that were, like, half of the people that were in here were mostly people that made their names from, like, Clone Wars and Rebels, you know, the animated stuff, right? So I'm glad that, like, JJ and, you know, everybody is acknowledging at, you know, at Disney and Lucasfilm, they're acknowledging Clone Wars and they're acknowledging Rebels and they acknowledge that these things happen. So it's nice because I like it when everything in Star Wars connects together. I like it when my storylines connect. I've said that from the beginning, and that's probably one of the reasons why I like this so much. You know, going back to what I said in my review, like, so does this mean that Ahsoka's dead? You know what I'm saying? Because I assume this means she's dead. Which, I mean, again, like, I mean, Ahsoka is my favorite character. I think that at this point, I mean, whatever, like I said, also, as long as they have Dave's blessing on it, I'm okay with it. Even though it still hurts. So one of the names that I kind of thought about that maybe they could have put in here but chose not to put in here was Ezra, because obviously they had Kanan, right? So clearly they could have went to Ezra, but they didn't. So does that mean that Ezra's still alive? You know what I'm saying? There's maybe I'll do a separate video on that as well, as if as far as like what maybe happened to Ezra. I just love the idea of Rey standing up and, you know, confronting Palpatine, and with the help of, you know, all the Jedi running through her and her finally defeating Palpatine. Now, I've had a little bit to think about this. I'm sorry, I'm just on my camera here. I've had some time to think about this. And I kind of have so like everyone's wondering like, oh, why did Palpatine, like, why was he using Force lightning when he could have stopped using it, because like this has happened to him before, blah 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 blah. Here's what I think, you know, and I've had a little bit of time to think about it, and you guys are free to disagree with me, but this is my take on it. It was ego, if you think about it, because Palpatine just got done telling Rey, you can't beat me because I am representing all of the Sith. So in his eyes, it's like, my power is superior to yours. And then when Rey says, fine, I'm representing all the Jedi, and then she gets up and she starts fighting. For Palpatine, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna prove once and for all that the Sith are superior, so I'm gonna prove that my power is greater than yours. But, you know, little does he know, the Jedi are much stronger than he thinks that they are. And because of that, you know, light side won and in Rey. Now, granted, you know, I guess with Palpatine, like, in a way, like, he did end up killing Rey, but I think it was one of those moments where, it, like Doctor Strange and Thanos, you know, like, I think you'll find that our will is equal to yours. It's kind of one of those things, and so, because of that, you know, Palpatine, he let his ego get the best of him. He let power and, you know, greed and everything get to his mind, as, you know, as most dark side peoples do, and because of that, he lost. Just my take on it anyway. Granted, Rey kind of did, like, it was a win and lose for Rey, because, like, she won, but then she, like, also died, so in a way she also kind of lost, but in the way, she brought balance to the Force, and Kylo saved her. Yeah, that's my take on it, though. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video, you guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like the Sector for Nerds page on Facebook, and I will see you guys next time. May the Force be with you, always.